Hello and welcome to Dharma with Kai. Disclaimer, no, this is not a paid sponsorship, and that is not the purpose of this episode on Dharma. I am also at capacity and not coaching additional teams, corporations, organizations, or individuals. The ongoing discussion in numerous organizations is how to transform a toxic workplace or how to maximize results. It is essential to always determine if it is optimization in work life balance, wellness, quality, or if preferentially the overall purpose of the organization is individual gain. I had a thought provoking spark the other day and I was like, wow. Ultimately, in most companies today, it is like a mantra that everyone's created equal. And if you follow this sequence A to Z upon retirement, you are going to achieve a net like a professional athlete, Steve Jobs, or whoever else you may get compelled to look up on Forbes. With numerous trades in marketing, focus on ethnic, racial, and other disparities has worked against everything that should have protected us from our freedoms. I must honestly say, congratulations. We are now all the foreigners in our nation, according to the largest global study of the future of work. I have done some work with Clifton Strength Finders, and they have several different books that are decent. 2.0, Strengths Based Leadership, First Break, All the Rules, Well-Being at Work, and the list goes on. I did not like the podcast that companions Gallup. The last book that I read was Gallup, It's the Manager, Moving from Boss to Coach, authors Tom Rath and Jim Clifton Harder. Learn your strengths. The purchase of the book includes a code for Clifton Strengths Assessment, which generates a report for you to discover traits of your type. If you want to unlock all 34 strengths and weaknesses, you could do that with paying a little more. I would like to share with you that when the assessment is completed, you are going to receive a report that generates the strengths and weaknesses. I would say that I have attempted to work on these strengths and weaknesses. I took a great time away from this while working on a different series for my podcast. Getting into this reading was awesome to see how I was doing with progressing towards the quality of overall wellness that I have worked towards. I do not want to coach you as a listener. I wanted to share some advice. I have noticed from meeting others during their professional developments that many of the messages and learning that I have participated in contradicts the idea of healing, surging towards achievement. In numerous practices, leaders are now at a disadvantage with defying odds, allowing external drives to navigate their employee culture. And it is often the downfall of many today. The culture of work, family life, cultivating thriving communities, improving wellness, giving back, and intentionally enhancing performance sounds good. However, it is a different alternative outcome when putting it all together. It is important to not get combative throughout this work due to the opposition that comes from people that did not intend to work through these faults with you. I would say that as a life coach, lawyer, and practitioner, it is extremely valuable to look at this reading in a different context after some time. Improving, whether it is in your individual life or on a career continuum, greatly depends on the environments that you spend frequent time in. I have told someone that I work with that was facing significant issues at work and with their family that it is the input that was their strength. And now has become their weakness. Giving them a few pieces of advice to deliberate over. As someone that has influence, you never want to input value into something that provides an opportunity to destructively impact what you have worked so hard for. That never means having a defense, though. The input that is received, you have to make sure that no matter the outcomes or achievements, you have the adaptability and flexibility to mitigate the challenges and success. I have heard the most successful leaders continuously say in meetings, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let me give you an example. As a car manufacturer, if several drivers end up in vehicle crashes or drifted during weather conditions to overcorrect into a median, would they say, let's not reinvent the wheel? What would they do? They would recall the car and reinvent the wheel, putting in the work and time that was needed to keep their industry name and vehicles produced in the property quality instead of making excuses. In this complex world, you have to acquire the stability within yourself prior to contouring how others view and want to work towards your vision. It is important to not ever get so vigilant that you lose your agile thinking to make the calls that are needed during the most controversial times. Never, never go for what others want you to do. Do what's necessary. That is my advice for you. Going to include a link in the description for you to purchase. It's the manager moving from boss to coach. And each month, I'm going to have an episode regarding a topic or theme from this book. I had to reach into it again since a client of mine was struggling navigating a toxic culture. It is possible to get discouraged, however, don't. In the upcoming episodes, I'm going to continue It's Not You, written by Dr. Romney, as well as other interesting topics that listeners impose wanting perspective. In 2025, I'm going to include some co hosts and paid advertisements. Enjoy having you here. Thank you for listening to Dharma, and I'm out.